All right, peace, power, and love is always in greeting. Been off for a minute and dropped any new content, just dealing with some issues, just some personal things going on. But appreciate all the likes, the looks. I glance at you know, the graphics every blue moon. But I do appreciate all of you who subscribe, who enjoy the message, and also, just like and share, spread the word. Like I say, I'm not famous, not trying to be famous, just really concerned about our situation and really want us to see it on the same level. Uh, and start to, move a little differently. So I appreciate all of you who are liking the content, who are watching the content, listening to it. I also want to thank my ActivateMedia.org family out of Boston, Mass, and my brother Patrick Wilson. Um, just another, way to get the word out. And that's really what it's about, just galvanizing um, ourselves, working together, and really recognizing the things that we need. And not only recognition of the things that we need, but also a um, coming together and working to change the conditions. Um, and I was talking with a customer earlier, an elderly lady, and um, she was just talking about how we need to start investing in ourselves. And I wholeheartedly agree because um, we don't have nothing. Well, I won't say we don't have nothing, but we don't have enough of the things that we really need. And y'all heard the spiel, the talk um, that I've been saying. We take care of the things we need. The things that we want will come automatically. Um, and that kind of leads me into what I want to address, and I'm probably gonna make another video, do another tomorrow maybe, but really want to address this. I wanted to do it a couple of weeks ago when it was a little more fresh, but um, like I say, just been kind of dealing with some surreal things. I'll say it like that. Um, but I wanted to talk about the soldiers. Well, first, before I go into that, you know, I am one that has said we are a superior race. I've said it more than once. Every time I say it, I mean it from the bottom of my spirit. I mean it because we are masters of everything that we touch, everything that we apply ourselves to. Uh, and I made a post. A lot of y'all, I may not have posted, but I wrote it down, and I was just like, we need to start an application to ourselves and applying ourselves to ourselves, as opposed to doing and moving how everybody else is moving out of sync right now. The whole world is out of sync. Just pay attention. Um, and with that being said, I mean, it's just to kind of go off key for just one more moment before I get into my spiel. But this is why we need our own everything. You know, like I say, we've never needed anybody. How can the true masters really need somebody? You know, and what they put us through just because they could. And those of us who are here now had the most resilient forefathers of them all, because we're able to be here now. We've always had that warrior spirit, and the most physically superior warrior, hands down, not bragging, just facts, the black man. Without weapons, with simple weapons to survive. And this is what happened during their takeovers. You know, they had the bullet. The majority of our ancestors only had the simplest of weapons: slingshots, rocks, spears, bows and arrows. And the devil came with a gun, bullets and gunpowder and muskets, you know, and then further transformed guns into what they are today, which is an extension of who they are. But we've always had that superior dominance, not just physically, mentally as well. Because if you think about it, your mind has to be in the right place in order for your body to survive what our forefathers had to survive. Working sun up to sun down, barely getting to eat, getting scraps like a dog. Like what some people would throw in a pot and mix together is what some of our ancestors, you know, unfortunately had to eat. All they had to eat. What the good white folk didn't eat. So we've always had that survivor, survival of the fittest mentality, that survivor mentality, that resilience that exists within all of us, because I can't think of one brother that don't know how to struggle. Not that he would want to, but I don't know. No, we know how to struggle. That's a warrior survivor instinct. And if we begin to focus on the important things, and if we begin to use those skills that we have to better ourselves and not to continue to be at odds with one another, I mean, the sky's the limit, because we are the warrior the master warrior. And what I wanted to talk about is, look, Crispus Attucks, one who jump started America's freedom. They were outnumbered, and that devil knew that they couldn't outman the British. But Crispus Attucks jumped that off. That's a warrior mentality. Let's not talk about it. Y'all came here to do this, okay? So that's always been in our DNA. Survival. Warrior mentality. Resilient spirit. Struggle survivors. But we still join their militaries. And these people, we all heard about it a few weeks ago. The 3 black soldiers who was killed in a drone attack. And let's just really dig off into that. I'm going to dig off into that too just a little bit. But, just like America started, excuse me, just like America started the mess with the British, but was too fearful to back it up, they have consistently done that throughout their history here. There's always been a war. There's always been a battle to win, to conquer, to thieve, rape, molest, and do all of the above that they condemn so many countries for doing right now. The same thing that they done to build this country. They now condemn other countries to keep other countries from gaining global dominance. And that's all it's about, power, and maintaining power and control of the people. I'm so sorry, of the people. But if we bring ourselves together and stop going to Uncle Sam's army, and they got all this stuff started now because they're backing Israel. And everybody, even a blind man, can see what they're doing to Israel. They're genociding what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, and they're genociding those people. And this has been Israel's plan for years. If you've ever paid attention to Netanyahu, but he's always talked in derogatory terms when it comes to the Palestinian people. Just simple. It's documented. So it's not saying anything anti-Semitic. It's fact. And I don't care how Joe Biden tries to spin it, now trying to act as if he's concerned about the Palestinians. He knew what Netanyahu was going to do the whole time before this even started. And he did or said nothing, and continue to give them money and weapons right now. And they continue to use them. And these 3 soldiers caught up in something that really has nothing to do with us. And these soldiers were all of them were out of Georgia. Uh, Two young black women and one, I guess, could say almost middle age, mid 40 gentleman, and he was a sergeant. I saw a video where Biden, ain't shit Joe, as I refer to him, called the parents of Kennedy. Oh, the names were William Jerome Rivers, 46. They're all from Georgia. I don't remember the particular cities, and I didn't write it down. Kennedy, LaDon Sanders, she was 24, and Breonna Alexandria Moffett, she was 23. And because of America's need for dominance, we've lost them, and now they're blaming Iran and gearing up to we'll see. I heard them say there would definitely be retaliation, but we will see what they do for the black soldiers. There was a Marine helicopter crash that got more airplay and media coverage than these three soldiers that lost their lives over there in Jordan. And they were a part of a bridge building crew, and they were going over there to assist soldiers in infrastructure rebuilding and whatnot. So not only were they soldiers, they were sharp, smart people, smart brothers and sisters, no longer with us. And this is why I say we've got so many of us from all aspects of life with all types of different skill sets that we can contribute into building our own. I can remember when I was a little boy, and on the highways, that's all you saw were brothers, But these soldiers, we need those type of brilliant soldiers working for the Black First movement. Period. We need them to be like the spook who sat by the door. If you haven't saw it, I watched it right on YouTube when I first heard about it. And there's a book as well. But good movie. Haven't read the book. But we all have skill sets, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a skill set that they taught us. But if you go to their military, why not train others that look like you to be more knowledgeable in self-defense and weapon handling and all of that, disarming and engaging and breaking down weapons to clean them, building weapons, all those types of skills. Then, like I say, we have doctors, lawyers, everything that lawyers, but as far as people who do the work to keep a city going, Well, we have those people. They're just unfortunately doing it for somebody else. And this is why I say we have to stop going to their army, fighting their wars, losing lives. And rest in peace and condolences to those families of those soldiers. And I hope Biden, my thing is this: don't get all happy and joyful. Uh, and yeah, because he also made Kennedy, LaDon Sanders, posthumously a sergeant. Uh, I don't know. I didn't read anywhere or see anywhere if he did the same with the other young lady, Breonna Alexandria Moffitt. But, that's nothing. That's just like him signing that anti-lynching bill that's irrelevant now in 2024. And to me, he's done nothing collectively. And they do these individual, camera moments and phone calls and all of that jazz to keep people thinking that they really care. And if they really cared, they do something as a collective. But, that's a whole nother story. When you want control, you have to have a lower class. That lower class has to exist in order for you to maintain your power and control. This is why I say, we need to stay out of their armies. Marines, Air Force. And I was going to go to the Air Force. Scored very well on my ASVAB. And they were after me for a little over a year. And I had a son, rest in peace, Darius. But I decided to just get a job and work, I kind of regret that, but, what's done is done. I tell my kids, I ain't got no brother named Sam. Therefore, they don't have no uncle named Sam. I told my oldest, my firstborn, get a job, go to trade school. I told my daughter go to college, but she chose her own path. And I mean, and that's all right. We have to be supportive of that and not look down on them because of it, because we need those young minds. These two young ladies, not saying that the brother's not relevant or anything, but these two young, I'm just talking about the age. These two young ladies, not even in their prime, not even really having experienced life yet, being only 24 and 23 years old. And now that's how they'll be remembered, as a 23 and 24-year-old. No kids, no grandkids for the parents, no uncles for brothers and sisters, aunts for, just a whole lineage. And this is what I always say: when we lose a young person like that, we lose several generations to come by losing that one person, that one young body. And this is why we have to really redirect our youth. And I'll say it now, just like I told my kids. The army is not for us. Don't forget that just a little over 100 years ago in 1919, there was a busload of soldiers still in uniform that was yanked off the bus and hanged. This was part of what they called the Red Summer of 1919. And I've got a book in there, and there were several incidents where the devil just hated us so much. He, they across the country, it was several race riots, but this is why we need each other. Let me go on and throw that in, because I hadn't said it yet. I was talking to this elderly lady earlier, and I expressed to her, and like I always say here, we haven't never needed anybody else except each other. And now we act as if we all good. Now we act as if we, got everything that we need. We don't even have everything that we need yet. And we should never feel as if we're good until we at least reach that level of comfortability. And that's important. Everything we do is important, but working together for the common cause of the collective issue with us is definitely a game changer. And not only that, like I've said on several occasions, if our children see us doing it, they'll want to get involved. They'll want to know, because they always want to know. We know how kids are. What you doing? What you doing? What's that? What's that? So you teaching them, but you teaching them a business. You teaching them something that they can pass down. Something that they can bring on up a notch. And this is what we got to do, because we've got weaker, wiser generations. And then I know the one lady, young lady's parents said that the young lady Kennedy was planning on signing another contract. She was thinking about going on and making a career out of it. So she would have the comfort of the benefits and all. And I've said this, a lot of our youth put their lives on the line. I've said this in several videos, podcasts. Put their lives on the line just to get a started life. And this is, like I say, why we should be more involved in getting our shit together as the new coming elders, and start showing them that, hey, they working together doing this. They working together doing that. Let's go see what they doing. Let's go, and get them here. Get them in here. Because when you get them right here, this is something can't nobody take. Unless they beat the sense out of them. And it has happened, unfortunately, in our history by this devil. But we got to be the ones to redirect that energy, give them a new energy and new options. This is why I say we've got to start building so that we can give our children other alternatives and not having to go join an uncle named Sam that ain't no kin to him. And then you got Ain't Shit Joe sitting up in the White House, and then Hayden-Harris. Where's she? These black soldiers passed, and she's nowhere to be found. She has no connection with us. Y'all should really understand that. And Hayden-Harris has no connection with us. Just like Joe Biden has no connection with us. Period. And these soldiers, he making the calls and talking the talk. But that's no issue. Police are killing us over here every day. Now they may react because that's what they really want to do. America really is itching to get involved in this war, it seems. And don't y'all forget, Russia and Ukraine is still happening. Not much media coverage on it now. You know, and there are a lot of young lives that stand the chance of being lost because what America has done throughout history is what the world is upset about now. And what's about to happen now is karma. What's about to happen now is reaping what you have sown. What's about to happen now is you did it, now it's coming back tenfold. And it's starting to take place. It's starting to take shape. See, America's going to be stretched beyond limit. And America is going to be wide open. And I've said this. Not that I want it to happen, but I've said it. And I just can feel it coming. But somebody going to bring it right here on this soil. America's done too much. And this is why we can't continue to allow our children, we can't allow their protection and our lives on the line. We can't allow that to be the norm. And then still are nothing more than a nigga at the end of the day. Uniform soldier, sergeant, colonel, lieutenant, whatever. Don't mean nothing to the hardcore racists. Don't mean nothing at all. Remember, these are the folks that used to burn and hang and cut body parts off of our forefathers for fun after church, picnics, pick a nigga. So why do we continue to help? And then these lost souls shouldn't have never even been over there in the first place. They are not really, I know they're trained to fire weapons and whatnot, but they're really there in a specialty capacity. And the story is that America was landing a drone and had to turn off the protection system in order for their drone to land. And while that happened, the drone that exploded and killed and injured several soldiers as well. I believe it was around 20 or in a little upwards of 20. Maybe more, maybe between 20 and 40. I can't remember, but I was just when I heard this story a few weeks ago, it kind of bothered me because the first thing I thought is we always put our lives on the line so other people can live better and a peaceful, gentrified life. And there's really no real appreciation. You can't replace that life. So there's really nothing that you can do nor say that's going to change that moment. It's America. What can I say? What else can I say? This is America. Yeah, at its best. Like I say, condolences really go out to these soldiers, and especially the two younger soldiers that still had so much life to live, and never knowing what they would have accomplished as they progressed forward in life. You know, it's unnatural to lose a child. I can understand their pain wholeheartedly, having lost a child. And that's just something you never expect. And I know on the interview, the mother said that she's been waiting for them to call her back, hoping that they made a mistake. And I felt that in my spirit when she said that, because you want it to be a real bad dream, and yeah, you're going to snap out of it and everything going to go back to normal. But you have to start learning to accept, adjust, and it's a long, hard process, and especially in the beginning. I can remember the days and nights, no sleep, and just trying to stay occupied, working, not really resting, younger, a few years younger anyway, drinking still, just self-destructing. And so yeah, we've got to really start focusing on our youth, because we need those young minds, those young bodies. You know, we need people with the ability to defend themselves and the community. And we owe it to ourselves and to them to start moving in the right direction, creating our own flow. Like I said, it's funny how a trickle of water can turn into a little stream of water that can turn into a whole river just from that moving water. And we could do the same thing just by creating our own flow, giving our people an alternative, as opposed to putting your life on the line for their freedom. And when I say their freedom, yes, I'm talking about the freedom of the American government that does nothing for the people, and then the audacity to say that it's your fault. You know, this country is upside down right now. People don't have enough money to make ends meet. And that's only going to worsen the situation as far as behavior. And they're not concerned about that, but they still got money to give Ukraine. They still have given Ukrainians SSI checks. And I saw people have to fight for years to get that shit started. Literally years. Upwards of 25 plus. So, I mean, don't give up your fight, but that's ridiculous. Anyways, I don't know. It's just, this country ain't right. Don't do the veterans right. There are more homeless veterans in this country than anything else, and they shouldn't want for nothing because they're the ones that sacrifice and put their bodies on the line for this country to be what it is today, which is a whole bunch of nothing. And these 3 soldiers, may they rest in peace. You know, but what's that going to change? It's not going to change this president's mind. It's not going to change this government's mind. And in the meanwhile, the police will continue to hunt us down. And these over-the-top racists will continue to terrorize and do the things that they are allowed to do. And most of the time get away with. So, like I say, it's really time for us to start pulling one another together. And it all starts with each and every one of us individually and within our families, and just making that strong. But that's all I got. Yeah, that one, like I say, really kind of rubbed me differently because we always come to the defense of a country that ain't never done nothing in defense for us. Not one nothing. Yet we still go and join their militaries and fight their wars. And this is, their war. It's about power. It's about something that can be gained somewhere. But anyways, y'all, like I always say, I love y'all. I get on here and just say a few things because sometimes things just need to be said, and we need to start having these conversations. We're not going to change nothing if we keep leaving it alone. And then the longer we keep leaving it alone, it gives them the mindset of they cool with it. And I'm just not cool with it. So, let's really start linking up. Because that's what needs to be the move. Technology. You can Zoom, you can do meeting and all these other apps that you got where you can do the conference calls and stuff. We need to start organizing, giving ourselves other options because we need each other. We got to get back to loving one another. Once we start loving each other the way we need to be loved, then we can maybe send a little bit out. But we got to get back to being who we are and who we were meant to be. So I thank y'all for you made it to the end. Do that thing, and I appreciate your ears Hope I said something that maybe hit a switch in your head. Will make you maybe look at things different, more in depth. That's why I named this show The Big Picture, because it's really what I want it to be about. Looking at the bigger picture. You know, don't look at the facade and the pretty shit they showing you. What they doing behind there. You know, what are they doing behind that shiny, pretty shit? So I'm just trying to stay on the right side and do what's right and call it out when I see it. Call it out when it happens. Be vocal about it. That's all. I mean, we owe that to the ancestors. The way they held it down for us to be able to be here right now. So just think about that. Yeah, think about that. Like I always say in closing, let's plan, let's organize, let's unify. Because we all have a key right here and right here. I'm out. Peace, power, and love.